extra time.
Clearly, you've got the quality of players to give India a real go in that final. You get 2 test matches in the same conditions in England beforehand as well, which should help. I mean, just how much of a statement would it be for New Zealand to win that first World Championship final? And, you know, I know you're being quite humble about not saying much about it, but I mean, that would be something pretty extraordinary against a powerhouse like India.
Yeah, I mean, it's yes and no. I think they've it would be lying if you didn't think that there's some sort of thought towards the World Cup final. But you know, I couldn't think of a better preparation than playing 2 test matches in England. But at the end of the day, it is neutral venue. You know, probably in terms of India, IPL finishing early under you know, unfortunate circumstances has probably played into their hands a little bit. You know, if IPL had come, they would have had a smaller preparation, where now that they'll be you know, a lot more conditioned and their bowlers getting their loads up and things like that. So you know, I think playing the 2 test matches is definitely gives us a slight advantage. But you know, this Indian team's been number 1 in the world for a long period of time and have had a lot of success over here. But I'm sure you know, the battle of the bowlers in this series, you know, the World Cup. But no, it would be nice to win the World Cup and be the inaugural winners. But in saying that, there's a lot of hard work and toil before we even get to that stage.
What at 37, Ross? What drives you now? What drives you internationally? What are the things that are pushing you on?
Yeah, I mean, it's a question I get asked a lot in recent times. I just love playing cricket and playing for my country. I think you know, age is just a number, and as long as you're still enjoying it and feel like you're good enough and you can contribute to the team both on and off the field, then you know, hopefully I can continue to go. But no, I still love playing cricket, and you know, obviously, you know, I've mentioned it before, but COVID, all the little things about, you know, going overseas and having to quarantine, you know, it's going to be a little bit tougher than normal, but you know, going forward. But you know, as we speak, it's still enjoyable.
2 tests against the host nation, then you've got a kind of neutral venue test match against India. Does it feel unusual in that sense?
Yeah, I think I suppose with the Test Championship, this being sort of outside of that, I guess we can't ask for a better schedule leading into the World Cup, you know, the World Test Championship final. But no, you know, England's always a testy proposition at this time of the year, and you know, the bowlers will be relishing it, but the batters are, you know, having to tighten up their techniques and really just see what this Duke ball's all about.
And England have announced their squad. Obviously, you know, Stokes and Archer are both injured. The IPL guys, such as Butler, are being rested. Will that significantly weaken their team?
No, I don't think so. I think you know, it's hard to replace those players. They're obviously quality players, but at the same time, you know, with the amount of county cricket and the amount of first-class cricket these guys play over here, you know, we're under no illusion it's going to be a tough test. You know, the players that are brought in obviously don't have a lot of international experience, but have played a lot of first-class cricket and whatnot. And, you know, it's probably the word that we've used a lot, but the depth that English cricket has, you know, produced in all formats of the game is phenomenal. And I'm sure going forward for their team, giving these guys opportunities and seeing where they're at, with you know, some senior fast bowlers at the other end, senior batters, is a good place to be.
How have you gone against Ward and Anderson over the years?
Oh, they've got me up easily. So no, I mean, I've always enjoyed facing them, especially here. It's a good test, and it was almost a changing of the guard the first time I played them. My first 100 was against Harmison and co. We won the test match in Hamilton, and then England made some changes, and a young Broad and Anderson had played a little bit, came through and have had stellar careers ever since. They beat us for the next 2 test matches, and they're still going to date. So, you know, it doesn't look like they're stopping anytime soon, and are still producing the numbers and the goods. But, you know, I couldn't imagine a better setup and environment for these young bowlers to come through to learn off 2 of the greatest bowlers going around today.
Hi. You've obviously played international cricket for a long time. There's been a bit of chat about moving the test dates for England and India this summer to accommodate the rest of the IPL. I mean, you've played plenty of T20 as well. Where do you stand? I mean, I'm wondering whether you're concerned about bilateral cricket and perhaps it's being squeezed by all these T20 leagues. Are you concerned about the future of international cricket versus T20 leagues?
Yeah, I mean, IPL is probably the one that is the most high profile, and countries move it around where the other ones don't get to see. They don't have the same, I guess, power. No, I mean, it is what it is. Players want to play in it. But I hope that international cricket still has a relevance and priorities at times. As long as it's, things have moved around, that's fine. As long as things aren't starting to get cancelled and whatnot. But no, I mean, it's something that has changed a lot from when I started IPL. Movement and players. We as a team, we weren't able to play in the whole IPL. We had to come over and only allowed to play a couple of weeks. We're now the team here in New Zealand allowed to play the whole time. So I think it's moved for the good. But I hope that the international cricket is still the pinnacle, and I'm sure if you ask most international cricketers around the world, that's the case.
Is this the best New Zealand team that you've played in? You've obviously played in lots and lots over the years.
It's definitely up there. I think we played very well at home. We know our conditions very well. The true test of how good this team is how we play overseas. In foreign conditions. But no, it's a very good side at the moment. Obviously, BJ Watling's going to be a big loss once he retires. He's been a rock for us behind the stumps, and just that knowing, you've got that fighter at 6 or 7 to come on and hopefully break the backs of some teams. So it would be nice to send him off on a winning note in a few weeks' time. But no, it's like any team. You have different changes. Our team is going to change over the few years. With BJ, myself, and a few of these fast bowlers probably having to tie-ho and bring things back a bit in their cricket. But, it's an exciting time for New Zealand cricket and a few of these youngsters to come through and show what they've got.
Ross, we often talk about Kane alongside Kohli and Root and Steve Smith. In terms of being a teammate, what would you say about his qualities compared to those guys and where he stands in that sort of batting group?
I think it's tough to compare them all. Playing at different teams, different countries. All I can say is the way he holds himself, the way he goes about his game, and the success he's had for our team in tough situations, I think. And the way he held himself in the World Cup, the pressures leading into the final and after the final, I thought was fantastic. But no, I think it's pretty good to have a world-class player from a batting point of view in your own team and learn off and hopefully pass on a little bit of knowledge as well. But no, I couldn't speak highly enough of him, and I'm sure once he's out of quarantine, he likes hitting balls, so I don't think he'll be doing this quarantine very good.
Ross, I just wanted to ask about, I think someone asked you about whether this was the best New Zealand team that you've been at. I mean, when you look at just the pure numbers, the number one ranking, Test Championship final, and then even that World Cup final a couple of years ago. I mean, as a generation, do you think this New Zealand group kind of get the respect and kind of recognition that a record like that really deserves?
I don't think it's our place to comment on that. It's for other people to put in front of us. All we do is try and play the best cricket we can as possible. But, once we did, we were number one team in the world. We came together as a team and we all sort of said a few words. And all I said was at the start of my career, probably that tour of England, I never dreamt that I would ever play in the New Zealand team that would have been that good and got to number one in the world. But, there's been a lot of hard work. We weren't there for long, but it was nice to be there. But, I think it's nice for international cricket to have a bit of context and that final will be something. But, hopefully in the years to come, this team can achieve a lot more things than what they're doing at the moment.
hit the subscribe option and the bell icon to get all the exclusive sports videos on Xtra Time.